It's the Dear Aunty podcast with your favorite aunties, Carm and Koe.
Talk to me. What's going on with you?
You need advice, and they've got the answers. Auntie gon' keep it real.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie.
You're tuned in to the Dear Aunty podcast. We are your favorite aunties. I'm Koe.
And I'm Carm.
And we are here with some real advice based on our real life.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into this episode, though, I have to pat myself on the back a little bit here, because my girl, Kyra Danaea, sent me these jeans. Now, I'm not going to stand up because we still got some work to do. We still got some work to do. But let me just tell y'all about the progress that I've made. You know, I had a whole baby this year, right? So I have still been on my snatch back, getting my shit together mission. So when she sent me these jeans over the summer, they are so cute. Super cute, right?
Cute.
Could not
Love 'em.
get them on. Like, could not get them on. Was so frustrated. I just put them back up.
But now
I just
you
put 'em
in
back up.
them.
Then, a couple months later, I could put them on, but I couldn't button them.
Okay.
Couple weeks later, I could put them on, I could button them, couldn't sit down.
Okay.
Your girl has them on, they are buttoned, and I am sitting. However, we got a little more work to do because the snaps keep popping. If you see something pop during this episode, mind your business. The point is, my girl Kyra hooked me up. I'm going to post the link to her website below because these are super fly, and y'all need to support this Black woman-owned business. And if you happen to have a Black woman-owned business that we can support, let us know. DearAuntiePod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Okay.
Let's get
What are you
to it.
over this week?
Oh my gosh. I am over a lot of things, so I'm going to try to put it all in one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm over stylists making demands of us when we go get our hair done. Because first of all, for Black women, I don't know how it is for white women. For Black women, when we go get our hair done, it is already a debacle. It is a lot.
It's a process.
We have to plan ahead. We have to plan our style for whatever it is that we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. We get there, more than likely the process is going to take well over an hour, probably over 2 hours. It's just a long process. Some of us take off of work to go get our hair done. So the last thing that I want to do once I'm finally done getting my hair done is be forced to take pictures and video afterwards. I think that stylists need to start using their manners and ask people if they want to be on camera after they finish getting their hair done. Usually, I don't know about you, when I go get my hair done, I don't have on no makeup.
Who does
I be
that?
looking crazy. I be having on my gym clothes. I just look a mess, right? I'm already disgruntled. I do not.
Are you already disgruntled when you're getting your hair done?
Because I hate going to get my hair done. I hate it.
So you already got an attitude. Get
Already
me
got
out of here.
attitude. So now, after I sat in your chair for 8 hours to get these these individuals, now I gotta pose from every angle. I gotta give you a side profile. I gotta give you a front profile. I gotta smile. You gonna spin the chair around, so I'm
All of
spinning
the
in the chair.
things.
You got the ring light shining in my face. I no longer want to do that. I'm gonna start speaking up for myself at the salon, and I'm gonna start saying no. No, thank you. I do not want to be on camera. And please do not post me to your page.
I agree. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying. Secondly, I've already talked about this before. I am so sick of all of these rules and regulations that come with going to these new hairstylists. Again, if you got exclamation points in your profile, I don't want to talk to you. If you're yelling at us in your profile, all caps, I don't want to talk. It's too many rules. Cash only. This, that.
You told me a crazy rule today.
Yeah. So I went and got my hair done. Oh,
The rule.
that rule. That
Yes.
must be if you are 5'7" or more,
I'm
it's going to be
charging
an
you more.
extra charge. We're
That's
going to put it on the
crazy.
screen because I really want y'all to know that we are not lying about this. But I went to get my hair done the other day. Really, I was getting my locks taken out. I had some faux locks in. And the young lady, I never had an issue with her before, but the time prior to that, she was late to my appointment, which I don't have a problem with. Stuff happens sometimes. But this particular time, I was late because I got my times mixed up. So I was about 25 minutes late. When I got there, she had an attitude. She was just like, I was like, oh, I texted her. I was like, I'm here. Are you here? Her response was, I've been here. I said, okay. I said, this is going to get Awkward.
It's not starting off well.
Yeah. So I went in. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I had missed the time." Okay. She was kind of like giving me a little shadiness. So we sat down and she said, "Yeah, it's going to be $15 for every 15 minutes that you were late." So at this point, it's probably about $30 added to my service. So I said, "Fine. A policy is a policy." But then my blood started to boil. My blood started to boil, and I took off my hat. And I turned around and I said,
Not I turned around.
I said, I looked at her dead in her eye. I was like, you know what? I feel some type of way about that. And she was like, well, in what way? I said, well, just literally last time I was here, you were 45 minutes late. I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for you. And my response to your tardiness was, no worries. Things happen. Take your time. I didn't ask you to take $30 off of my service, nor did you offer to take any money off of my service. With that being said, I think it's a little funny style that you're now thinking that you're going to charge me for me being late. Where's that same energy? Where's that same grace? Why is the policy
Carmen.
not
Why?
a two-way street?
That's annoying.
So my thing is, and I'll wrap this up, as service providers, when you're doing hair, if you're going to have policies like this, let it be a two-way street. If you're going to charge me for being late, then I say that you take something off of my service when you're late.
Common courtesy, because the nerve of you, ma'am. It's the nerve of you because you were late.
Just last time you were late. Just literally the last time.
That, to me, is the most annoying part of the rules and regulations of the salon industry is that the rules only go one way. They're only for the client, but you could be late. You could be on time and still start an hour later. You can do all of the things, and then you're definitely going to have an attitude if I ask you to take some money off of my bill.
Yeah, that's a policy y'all should just not have because things can happen too.
And y'all are late every time.
Yeah. Or my appointment was at 1, I'm in your salon and you're still working on somebody else's head.
That's what I'm saying. I'm here on time and you're still not starting on time. So what are we doing
the deal?
Here? Yeah, I'm not with that. I'm definitely not with it. But Carmen, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have to play this video too. No, we're not. My husband will kill me. The rule to not have kids in the salon is a valid one. I took my child. My son fired me. I can't braid his hair anymore. He's like, "Mom, get the hell away from me." I'm fired. And rightfully so. It's traumatic for both of us. So I took him to get his hair braided at the salon. 2 braids, girl. Real quick. 1, 2.
Just put him in there.
That nigga embarrassed the hell out of me. I'm talking about
why he gotta be an N-word?
He was. Because he acted like one that day. He was not my little sunshine.
Leave my virtual nephew alone.
I will show you the video. I can't put it up here, but I'll show you him screaming at the top of his lungs for an hour straight.
What did you do to him?
With other people in the salon getting their hair done. It was so bad. But the girl, I've been going with her for a decade. Obviously, I don't go anymore, but we've known each other for years and years. And so she would never tell me, "You can't bring your son back here." But I'm never taking him back there. It was so
he embarrassed you.
He embarrassed me.
I feel like you did something
bad
to him to make him behave that way.
It was very bad.
So,
but about your over it really quick, I just have to commend you for being the type of girl that speaks up for herself.
Thank you.
Because I would have sat in that chair with an attitude
no, Koe,
the entire time.
No.
And then left. And text my friends, like, "Let me tell you what this bitch did."
No.
I do not speak up for myself in those situations.
2024,
I'm stepping that shit up.
We are not allowing the stylist girls to bully us.
We're not allowing anybody to bully us in 2024.
But especially not people we're paying.
That part.
Because these girls are not only are they bullying us, they're charging
We're
us
paying them to bully us.
crazy fees to do things that used to cost $50.
It used to be included with the service.
So, anyway.
So I am personally over, and this is kind of going to contradict the fact that I said I'm not the type of girl to speak up.
Okay.
I am moving into Koe 2.0.
I love that.
So I have been the type that will hold my tongue.
Okay.
I can be everybody's very opinionated, right? Everybody has an opinion on something. But I will consciously choose not to share my opinion for sake of not wanting to ruffle feathers, keeping the peace. And I have very strong feelings on things. Not that I think that everything I think is right, but I do think I have strong feelings on things. I am over the spirit of everybody has to be so nice, this niceness. So I saw this post that was like, Jesus wasn't a nice man. He was a good man. He was a kind man. And I said, you know what?
There we go.
I'm over being nice because niceness got us sexy red.
Oh my.
Niceness gets us Sukiyana.
Yikes.
Niceness gets us the baby mama culture that we have. And when I say niceness, it's like I can't speak on things that are doing a disservice to our culture, our community,
Politically
because
correct.
I can't ruffle any feathers. I can't hurt anybody's feelings. Prime example, when I first started Girl Stop Playing last February, I had a team of 4 working with me at the time. And on the very first episode, the conversation of multiple baby daddies came up somehow. And literally, we had a team meeting the next day, and 2 of the girls were offended. And they brought it up because they wanted me to know that I needed to be mindful of the things that I was saying on my podcast, because the people I knew
On
personally,
your podcast.
on my shit, the people I knew personally, they might be offended by this because apparently, a couple of people had multiple baby daddies. And I feel like that's a prime example of you want us to not speak on an issue that could possibly save or help someone else because you feel triggered.
Because it's going to hurt your feelings.
Because it's going to hurt your feelings. Because it's going to shine a light on your decisions that you are not proud of. So we are just going to sweep this whole conversation under the rug and just be nice, even though we know that speaking up could potentially save someone. So that's what I mean when I say being nice. I am over us feeling like we can't speak up on right and wrong because it's going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
So no more Mrs. Nice Girl.
Ooh, I'm scared.
I'm standing on business in
scared of you.
2024, baby.
I can't wait to see you, honey.
Me either.
Good for you.
I'm going to work on it.
All right, let's get into our hot topics.
Spicy.
So I was looking up some places regarding the best places to live for women, okay, in their 40s. And that wasn't my initial search. I think it ended up turning into just the best places for women to live. So if you're out there, you're single, you're looking for new places to go and live, here are the best places according to some random article. Tampa is up there as one of the best places to live.
Tampa's a pretty cool city.
Seattle.
I don't know. You been to Seattle?
I have been to Seattle. It's really pretty,
I
but
heard that.
it's rainy, which I'm not a
Heard
rainy
that too.
kind of girl. So
You're from Seattle. I've
You
heard
are.
it's beautiful, but the weather is
yeah,
just
it's beautiful. San Francisco, Boston,
I love San Fran.
and
weather too, though.
Atlanta.
What are they basing this off of?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But this is the list.
Put me out of list based
Here
on nothing.
it is. These are the best places. And I also read somewhere recently that Atlanta was the best place for single Black women. And I just said that must be a lie from
do
the
what?
pits of hell.
To do what? To hang out with each other? This is a great place for single women to meet one another.
Yeah,
It
for
is.
sure.
Yeah.
But
You can meet a husband here, though. We both did.
You can.
You can. But
You're
I don't know about
right.
it being the best place for
But
Black women.
yeah, because I definitely, let's not act like it wasn't like
Treacherous.
a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So speaking of Atlanta, not too long ago, we had a show where we talked about our boy Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
How he was shaking things up in the city. And so apparently the people of Atlanta, they had a meeting. Okay.
A whole meeting.
They had a whole meeting about it. And I want to know your thoughts on one of the quotes that came out of this meeting from Atlanta's own Frank Ski. He stated, and this was a town hall, it's almost impossible to give good customer service to Black people. What are your thoughts on that? Because I thought that was like, ooh, he's shaking the table. But
Was that a complete quote? What was the comma? There was a comma.
No.
I
I
don't believe that you said that with a period.
Because the person that put the tweet out was somebody that I know personally. So I went her to her DMs and said, is this what he said? She said, yes. So I'm going based on someone who was at the town hall and she tweeted while she was there.
Okay.
And so
you want me to respond just if he actually said that? If he actually said that.
And not even, let's take Frank Ski out of it.
Okay, because I was going to say,
Let's
I just don't want to believe that he meant it in that way. Only
because I've heard this before.
Only because Frank Ski's restaurant, he's an experienced restaurateur. He's obviously a staple in Atlanta. So I don't believe that there was just a period. Like,
Okay.
Black people don't deserve good service, period. I believe that if there was a comma, something that could have possibly come after the comma could have been like, we don't know how to respect each other. We don't appreciate, I feel like he could have explained that and I could have gotten it. That statement with the period at the end, I don't agree with. I think that here in Atlanta, we could think about Atlanta, we could think about DC in terms of Black cities.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as ghetto and ratchet as, they may make Atlanta appear to be on like reality TV, there's definitely Black excellence in the city.
Absolutely, all around.
So to lump Black people into a one particular group of people that you can't serve, I think that's crazy. Especially being a Black man.
I do too. But the reason I brought this up is because this is a quote or something that I've heard other people say before. Like, it's impossible to please, Black customers. They are like the hardest group to serve. So I was just wondering if you thought there was any truth to that.
What do you think?
For me, I can't really say that there is 100% truth to that. I think, to your point, something that I've experienced is that Black people, on occasion, I noticed that they tend to give Black business owners a harder time than they would give white business owners. So whether it's hassling or trying to, hassle for prices or, wanting you to discount or your stuff is too expensive or, really holding us to higher standards than they hold white business owners. I think that is something that I've seen. I'm not going to say that it's across the board, but it's something I've definitely seen and something I've experienced.
I agree. And a perfect example that I could think of is Pork Calvin's here in Atlanta. Bomb restaurant, great food, owned by an Asian man, and he don't play that shit. He has real rules. He is a stickler for like the no substitutions, like all of those things that we complain about usually when we go to Black restaurants.
And people love it.
And, people definitely just abide by the rules. So I do think that we don't respect each other as much as we respect other people.
That's correct.
So I think that's the root of it. Yeah, period. I think that's the root of it. But I also think that there's nuances to everything. There's always going to be a ghetto ratchet group of Black people. There's always going to be a country trailer trash group of white people that don't know how to act. Like, I think that you can't just say Black people, you can't give them good service. I think
Agree.
That's crazy.
Because then I think that sets us up to just say, well, we're not going to give Black
y'all
people
just
good service
whatever
at
y'all
all.
Get. Yeah.
And it takes us down a rabbit hole. All right. Next up, Auntie Cheryl Lee Ralph is finally moving in with her husband after 20 years of marriage. I say congratulations to y'all on that. For me, I think them living separately, that's refreshing. That's pretty innovative. What do you think?
Innovative is a word that you could use.
I mean, I think it's outside of the box.
Worked for them. I cannot judge anything that is working for anybody.
Yes.
And I think that's part of our problem is us thinking that marriage only goes one way.
Right.
It only has to go this one way. So obviously, if they've been in it for 20 years, it has worked this far. And things have to be going well because they're moving in together now. So
clearly. So, yeah.
Couldn't be me, though.
But I've heard a lot of people say, hey, me and my husband, we're good. We're good in our separate bedrooms. We're good in our separate homes. We're good on, opposite coasts. We're good. We're married. And when we see each other, we see each other.
I think, too, though, it goes back to the lifestyle of someone in the entertainment business. It's not like Cheryl Lee Ralph just lives in one place anyway. So because of her lifestyle, that's probably more conducive to, that. But no, it couldn't be me.
103,000 dropped a flute album.
I heard.
Have you listened to it?
I have not.
Why not?
I'm not going to say because the people might cancel me.
You never cared about that before.
True. I am not a huge Outkast fan.
Canceled. You're canceled.
I don't dislike them. I'm just not a fan.
Because I know exactly what you're about to say. Now, you are canceled on my
I just
list.
am not a fan.
Really?
Not that I dislike them. I'm just not a fan. That doesn't mean the same thing. See how y'all get sensitive? Kendrick does the same thing. He's like, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Don't cancel me, y'all. I'm just being honest.
I'm learning to accept
people
different
for
opinions.
who they are. Thank you.
And that's okay that you don't like one of the most iconic.
I don't dislike him. See, I didn't say that.
Groups
See, did
in
I say
history.
that? I didn't say dislike.
Damn.
I didn't
She
say.
said them.
No, I did say Outkast, but I didn't say dislike. I just said I'm not a fan. That doesn't mean the same thing, Carmen. Does that mean the same thing to you?
So sorry, Miss Jackson. So like Rosa Parks.
You know what probably did it for me? The Roses Smell Like Boo Boo song. I was not feeling that.
Smell like
That
boo, boo, boo.
style of like goofy music
You
or
didn't
whatever
like
that
it?
was. I thought that was weird. So they
Okay.
probably really gonna cancel me now. I'm gonna stop
right.
talking. Go ahead. Did you like the album?
Well, I will say this album has taken me through many a stressful day.
Okay.
I use it to meditate.
Okay.
So I'll put it on, I'll get in my meditation poses, and I just relax. And it really is calming to the nervous system. I want you to hear the track names, and I have it
Am I gonna
here.
love them?
I don't know if you're gonna love them,
Okay.
but so the first track is called I Swear. I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. That's the first track. Okay. The second track is the slang word pussy rolls off the tongue with far better ease than the proper word vagina. Do you agree? So what are your thoughts on those first two?
I need to smoke weed.
That night in Hawaii, when I turned into a panther and started making these low register purring tones that I couldn't control, shit was wild.
Now my thought is he was smoking weed.
Definitely. He was definitely smoking weed. But you know,
That's track 3?
yeah. But the melodies are so calming and peaceful. I say use it on my virtual nephews when it's time for them to go to sleep.
Okay.
It is very healing, and I think it makes for a good massage session.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to say the reason why he said he made this flute album is because he said he too damn old to be a rapper. Now, what's your thoughts on that? Like, at a certain age, should you stop rapping?
Should.
Because, you know, we're aunties and uncles.
So my thing is, what are you rapping about? I think that there is a mature way to evolve as a rapper. I think that probably the best example of a visual maturation of a rapper is like the 444 album from Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jay-Z,
It's like the
definitely.
content of the album. The conversation was different. I think if you can still be a rapper if you have an evolved conversation. If you are still rapping and you're talking about the same thing that you were doing 20 years ago,
Drake.
you're definitely no longer doing that. It's a lie. We know it's a lie. So I think that's probably what he was saying. Like, y'all don't want to know about me I can't rap about me being a dad and me taking my kid to the baseball game. Like, I'm living a different life now. So.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Okay. So people are getting dumber and dumber, as I'm sure you know. And America I blame them for a lot of it. But especially because they're adding these words to the dictionary, these new words. So a couple of the latest words that have been added to the dictionary are John, Jawn,
Philly? Okay.
John, Riz,
I remember that one.
Yeet,
What does that mean? I have to Google. I'm going to look it
had
up in the
no
dictionary.
idea.
Okay.
Sus,
Sus. Okay. I'm familiar.
Luke,
I don't think you have to say
Luke,
That's a look.
Finster,
I can't believe that's going in the dictionary.
Mid, and Bussin'. All of these are going in the
You
dictionary.
know why they're making it to the dictionary, though? Because these millennials and Gen Zers are in the executive roles at
This is
dictionary.com.
stupid. This is
and they're
dumb.
approving this.
I hate it. This is
Well, it's
dumb.
gonna get worse.
We're getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah, I think that was in the dictionary.
That's shameful still. As
It
much
is.
as I
That's
love Beyonce,
embarrassing,
I
yeah.
don't think bootylicious
Bootylicious
should be in the dictionary.
No, because what does it say? You have a lot of booty?
I think real words should be in the dictionary. There used to be a time and place when we were younger where we didn't know a word. Our parents would send us to the dictionary and they would say, go look it up. And we would look it up and we would come back a little bit more knowledgeable than we were before. But now
You can go look up
to the
bootylicious.
dictionary, you're going to get dumber when you come back walking back from the dictionary.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
bad.
that's a shame.
That's pretty bad.
That dictionary was busting.
I mean, Urban Dictionary maybe, but the
Yeah, put it-
actual dictionary?
Yeah, put it in the
absolutely
Urban
not. Yeah, that's kind of
Dictionary.
crazy. Can we talk about Auntie Monica, please?
Yes, please.
Because I had to add this to the notes because, ma'am,
What you want to say about my auntie? Because,
this should have been my auntie is over it. Let me tell y'all what else I'm over.
uh-oh.
I'm over Monica playing in our face with this C murder bullshit. Like, Monica, the Monica from when I was, a little girl, okay?
Sitting on that
She's
curb.
grown up with us with them white ass shoes on. She has grown up with us. We have watched her. We feel like we know her. We don't want you to fail. We don't want you to get played in this way by a man with a life sentence.
Yeah.
She recently posted, so we know they rekindled their whatever they had going on after, well, I don't know if it was after she divorced her husband, but either way, they rekindled their affair.
Mhm.
It was already slightly sad
Yeah, it's
that
like
this successful, beautiful, amazing woman that has all of this going for herself would limit herself to someone who could not physically be there, right?
Yeah.
That was already sad. But for them to end whatever they had going on and her to actually post publicly that she got her heart broken by this man in jail, that is next level to me.
You thought that
Because
was
if you
embarrassing?
posted it, I feel like it was 10 times worse. Like what you actually went through is 10 times worse than you'll ever post
You
about.
didn't need to post about it.
You didn't need to post about it. That's so embarrassing.
I just feel
I caught
like
secondhand embarrassment.
she's the OG ride or die. Like
Kick down the door and smack your chick.
She has been riding and riding and riding.
Till the wheels have fallen
And
off.
I just feel like it's time to give it up.
It is.
It's time to give it up, mama. So this might be the best thing that could have ever happened to her, is that her heart was broken by this man, C. Murder, and that she can finally move on with her life.
And
Because I feel like she's been stuck to this dream of, I don't know what, because he's not getting out.
Getting out. What is the dream?
Auntie Monica, it's time for you to go somewhere and go to
Heal.
somebody's
Go heal.
Go to the kitchen and bake some cornbread, bake some cakes or something, whatever aunties do nowadays. Please go do that.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Because he responded to her post
No,
and
he
put up his
didn't.
own post. That
Now, what is-
in a shady way. Yes, they got phones
Now,
in
they
the
got
jail. They
everything
got
in
phones down at the
prison.
jail. But he basically said people want to speak on, like, people, y'all worry about the wrong thing. I got a murder trial I'm trying to beat. That is what his response was. Like, you are worrying about, people want to talk all this. Y'all worrying about the wrong thing. I'm trying to beat a murder trial.
Well, excuse me. First of
It's
all,
the audacity for me.
can I just say that first of all, your name is C. Murder. That's the first thing I want to bring to your attention, sir.
And you are on trial for what?
I'm not sure if you know that
Murder.
your name is C. Murder and you on trial for murder. But that ain't Auntie Monica's fault.
It's not.
At all.
And I'm sure she's done everything she could do.
This is misdirected anger
It
for
is.
sure.
So please do better. Learn from Monica's mistake.
Learn. Rod Digger.
Who?
Old school. Don't do her.
I'm sorry.
Don't do Rod Digger like that.
That was a dig. But don't.
So Rod Digger, y'all know Rod Digger. For the nieces who might not know Rod Digger, she is a female rapper who was in the game. She used to rap with Busta Bus.
Rap
Busta
one of her
Rhymes.
songs. Name a Rod Digger song. Since I'm a hater.
My voice is a little hoarse right now. But she recently
Google
got
her. We don't know.
married. And she posted a photo in the caption that reads, "A wise woman once said, don't post that nigga till you're married." What do you think about women that have that thought process? Because for me, I don't think I've ever stuck to that rule. I think I've always posted anybody I've ever been in a serious relationship with. Now, you know what I can't stand? I can't stand the girls that get a boyfriend, get a man, and they take a picture and they post them, but they put the big heart over his face
That was
or the
me.
big whatever.
That was
And I'm
me.
like,
For
what the hell
years.
is the point?
For years. Because I want
Why
y'all
are
to
you
know he
doing that,
here, but y'all
Auntie
don't need to
Cal?
know who he is.
Auntie
That was the point. That's the point. Is I want you to know there's someone here, but I don't want you to know who
You
the
couldn't take
someone
like a
is.
picture of y'all hands, like,
No, girl. I used to put big
Intertwine.
emoji, the big heart-eye cat emoji on his face. Yep, I did.
I can't with you.
I was real petty. But what do I think about that? I don't hate that rule.
Okay.
You know who said they were going to abide by that rule and did not do it and regretted it?
Who?
Taraji.
Oh.
She publicly made a point to say, I ain't never posted nobody. You ain't going to ride on my coattail. You ain't going to be able to be associated with me unless you put a ring on his face. And then she posted him and he played in her face.
Don't they always? It seems like, and that seems to be the trend. It's like as soon as you post, well, for a lot of people, not me, but as soon as you post them,
Shit goes wrong.
this shit go left.
Yeah, so I'm not opposed to this. I am very much so. Now, I think it's weird when you pop out with a child. But popping out with a husband, by all means, do you, sis.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of men and their choices, professional athletes. I saw a tweet the other day, and it says, these guys make the worst decision or have the worst taste in women. They said they don't marry brain surgeons. They don't bring on or be in relationships with doctors, lawyers, CEOs, dentists, politicians, just IG models. And when I saw that post, and I was like, you know what? You're right. They don't ever marry doctors, lawyers, surgeons, CEOs, or anything of the like. And my question is that because these men are highly insecure and that they need to feel like they're in control with their money?
Are you equating IG model with easily controllable? Like that type of woman is easily controllable versus a professional woman?
And even though that's really bad of me to say, I think that if you have chosen the life of IG modelhood, you probably...
Can we define IG model? Because I feel like that term is thrown around, but do you actually mean like an influencer who gets paid for posting, or like a girl that posts her ass for no reason on Instagram?
I think when people think IG model, they think a really, really attractive woman who probably is like posting sexy photos.
But is she getting paid for it? Is she an influencer or an IG model?
Sometimes she might, sometimes she might not.
Okay, I'm having a hard time here because I know influencers, not IG. Again, I don't know what the definition is, so I don't equate IG model with like a dummy, like a bimbo. But what I was gonna say when you were reading that was, they might be married to doctors and lawyers, but the doctors and lawyers look like IG models these days. I follow some doctors and lawyers that are doing the same stuff that the girls I used to, the girls from Magic City that I used to work with, the same post.
Interesting.
So I feel like people are blending in these days, so I don't know that we would even be able to tell if she was that.
Okay, let's just pull up couple of people. Let's just say a couple of people that I can, like, I know sports. I'm trying to think of somebody that's popular. So if we look at Tiger Woods, for example, that's an old school somebody, right? He was just, it was just a pretty lady. I'm assuming she didn't really have much of a career going. You look at the only person that I think might have had something going for themselves is Savannah James. I think she has like businesses on the side.
See, that's what I was gonna say though. I think it's very hard when a lot of these athletes marry girls from like when they were younger. Because I even was thinking about Steph Curry and Aisha. She's not a career woman, but she didn't have to be because they got together so young. She didn't never have to go off and apply for a job and carve out this. Same with Savannah. We don't know what she could have been because she didn't ever have to do those things. So I don't necessarily think
So you think that most women, if given the opportunity, they would say, I don't want to do anything. I'd rather just be a stay-at-home person if I have the opportunity to.
If I'm married to LeBron James or Steph Curry.
Damn.
If I'm married to LeBron James or Steph Curry?
Whoever.
I don't think Aisha said I'm not doing shit. She came up with a cookbook. She started her own thing.
So I feel like an anomaly. Her and Savannah James, and then like Shawnee O'Neal. But okay, I'm glad you brought up Shawnee O'Neal because when you look at Basketball Wives, shows like Basketball Wives, these women were not necessarily business women. Shawnee was because it was her show. But
see, I don't feel like I feel like we're mixing IG model and like what we used to call like a video girl back in the day.
Okay.
So I don't feel like Shawnee was before the IG model generation. The Basketball Wives were before the IG model generation. So those girls would be still in that category. Like the Evelyn Lozada. What does she do with her life? Who is she? What's her career? She's been a serial athlete's girlfriend. That type of woman is who I would say they go after. Not necessarily an IG model. Because I wouldn't say Evelyn's an IG model.
Well, let's say that is true. So
girl.
Why? Why?
Because she is...
Why do they go... I guess the question is,
because she doesn't have anything going for herself.
Do they go after that particular woman? Why wouldn't I, as a man who makes millions of dollars, go after someone who maybe also has millions of dollars or is a doctor, is a lawyer, is a politician? Why wouldn't I do that as someone who makes that amount of money?
So I had a brief encounter with an athlete that made millions of dollars. I did not make millions of dollars, but I also was not an IG model bimbo. I was an entrepreneur, was doing things that I thought were amazing.
Right.
He was not impressed or interested by any of those amazing things.
Yeah.
He was the star. And those type of men want to be the star. And it's hard to be the co-star unless that's the type of girl that you are. You're comfortable just getting in line with what you got going on.
And men don't really care about what women bring to the table as far as money.
No.
I don't
think.
think.
But not even...
Do they?
I don't think they care about money, but not even like... if I gotta pick up, if I get traded tomorrow and I have to pick up and move the day after tomorrow, I need somebody that
Who
can just
can
come
do
with
it.
me. Yeah. So if you got too much going on, you're not gonna be willing to just value what I got going on.
That makes sense. That makes complete and total sense.
So I think women like Evelyn who clearly don't have, and I'm sorry, Evelyn. I really just said your name so many times.
Oh my God.
Women like
No
that though, who
offense.
just go from person to person to person,
Yeah.
and we have not seen them doing anything.
Because to your
substantial.
point, once you date an athlete, are you not going to want to still continue to date athletes?
now
you've accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
I did not. That was a first and a last. I was very turned off.
Same.
I was very turned off.
I was like,
but we are not that type of girl. I think that's the point. There's
Not
a certain
interested.
type of girl that goes from athlete to athlete to athlete to athlete. She's that
Yeah.
type of girl. We are not.
It's like, this is cool or whatever.
But not for the long term.
Yeah. All right.
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
So I was actually listening to the radio. I think it was Frank Ski, actually. Hey, Frank. And a woman called in, or I think it was the man. The man called in to the show. And he wanted advice because he wanted to marry this woman, and she's been dragging her feet.
Okay.
Now, the reason that she's been dragging her feet, like, he didn't know. He just knew that she was kind of avoiding the conversation. You know, she wasn't really interested, which most women are going to be jumping at the
Right.
conversation. So come to find out, she was previously married,
Okay.
and she's still getting $10,000 a month in alimony. And if she remarries, that ends.
Oh.
So she still gets this $10,000 a month for the next 7 years. So the question he had was, should I go in a different direction because she's not going to give this up? Should I stay with her for these next 7 years, just ride it out? Because I could use,
That's going to be my question. Maybe I missed it. How long have they been dating already?
See, I don't know that part. I don't know how long they've been dating, but he would have to wait 7 more years.
I was going to say, if
for this
they
to
was
run
on
out.
year 6.
No, this is 7 more from when he called in. It's not a total of 7. It was 7 more. She got 7 more years left on this contract.
Got you.
What would your advice be? What would you do? What would you tell him to do, I should say?
I mean, he's just going to have a conversation with her. He's really just going to have to sit down and say, hey, I really want to marry you. I know that means that your $10K a month is going to get cut off. But I'm willing to provide in the best way I can for you. You know, we're going to have a happy life. You know, I want us to get started on a family, whatever, kind of pitch it to her that way and see what she says. If she's like, nah, I got to ride out these 7 years because I want to stack this cash, then he's going to have to move in another direction. But I think that conversation is going to tell him all he needs to know. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what I cut off my $10K a month supply. Not having to do anything
It's tough.
for it. You know what I mean?
It's
but if you're
definitely a tough conversation.
if you're in love, you just might.
You just might.
You might say, hey.
I think there's definitely ways to be smart about it. I think my conversation would be, okay, well, I'm going to ride this out for the next 7 years, but half of that 10, we about to put it into a business.
Something.
This has to be working towards our future.
Yes.
Like, I am not about to sit around and wait while you stack up your stash.
Yeah. Your getaway
I'm just
stash.
saying, like, no, that doesn't make sense. And I think that it's very clear.
Or y'all could
what
just
her
move in together,
intentions are.
live like a married couple, and then get married on year
Later.
7.
Yeah.
I like that.
How would that feel, though, as a man, to know another man is basically
No man
providing
would do
for
that.
your woman?
No man.
That's a
I mean, I'm not gonna say no
thing.
man would. I think it would be very rare for a man to agree
Be
to
okay
that
with that.
arrangement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering what you thought.
So today's episode, we're talking all things old school. Nostalgia, auntie vibes, uncle vibes. So I was wondering if you remember this game we used to play, Step on a Crack, Break Your Mama Back.
I thought it was stupid my whole life. I never did that.
Why?
I used to be like, break my mama back.
Well, actually, that's what happened in this video that we're going to show, where this little boy got so mad at his mom because she wouldn't give him, like, I don't know, a snack or whatever the kids want, little juicy fruit snacks. And he went ham on the cracks. He was like, break your back, mama. Girl,
My type of guy.
when I saw that, I screamed because
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
that's such an old school thing. And the fact that these little kids
know about
and
that.
understand
Get
it
outta
and was
here.
dead ass serious, like, your back is about to be broke.
That's hilarious.
Was hilarious to me. Did you know that Generation Z considers you old if you send a GIF. How do you say it? GIF or GIF?
I say both every time because I don't know which one.
Okay,
I
I say
GIF. GIF.
Oh my
okay.
God.
I don't know. It's like gyro, gyro, gyro. I don't know. I'm going to say them all.
You say them all. Tomato, tomato. So, yeah, apparently there's been a survey that if you send reaction gifs like how we do in text messages and it's like a GIF, Generation Z is like, that's how I know you're an old-ass millennial or Gen Xer. Because
stay off my phone, little
they
girl.
don't do that.
Stay off my phone, little girls. Who are these people? My nieces? My actual nieces? Like, get out of here. I don't care.
So I want all the aunties out there to know that if you want to seem cool to your
Don't send a
nieces,
gift.
do not send a gift.
Oh my God,
via
I just
text.
thought of something.
What?
You remember the original GIFs of like the happy birthday with the sparkles or like Merry Christmas with the sparkles. And like on all the holidays, like your aunties send you those.
Oh my God.
Is that like what they think of us when we send a gift?
Probably. Because I have a friend. Oh my God. This just, wow. Way to just
That
mess
puts
up my
something
day.
in perspective, yeah.
Yeah. A friend of mine, her mom sends me those little things like every week. It's like a Jesus
And you're
thing.
like, you're old as hell, lady.
Or it's like
Where are you finding
good
these?
morning. And
Where do you
where are
find
y'all
them?
getting these things? And it's like a poem about like how you're a great
Girl,
person.
My
or whatever.
mother-in-law, I love you. She be doing that, but where do you get them?
And I'd be like, thank you. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no, they're great. I appreciate you thinking of me, but where are y'all finding these? I don't know. But if they're thinking of us like that with
That's
the gift,
exactly what they think.
whew,
Jesus.
now I feel some type of way. Okay.
Did you ever, did you eat at Wendy's when you were a kid?
Yes, Wendy's was like
I loved
the
Wendy's.
best fast food.
So
Those
apparently.
little junior bacon cheeseburger.
Oh
Well, I didn't
my
get the cheese,
God.
but yeah,
With
junior
with
bacon
a
burgers.
Frosty?
I wasn't a Frosty girl, but yeah.
Okay.
Give me a nugget.
I love the nuggets, the Frosties, all the fries and everything. So on Twitter, apparently Gen Z, when they saw like the yellow label Wendy's, they didn't recognize it because it's no longer like that. Apparently, I haven't been to Wendy's in a while, but it used to be the yellow thing for your fries and for the drinks.
Is it red now?
I think it's red now. I don't know, but apparently Gen Z saw it and they were like, "What the hell is this? When was Wendy's yellow?" And I felt so old when they said that.
I don't want to hear from Gen Z anymore. What are y'all even talking
But it
about?
takes me back to like the Pizza Hut bar when you used to go in Pizza Hut.
The
and
salad
used
bar?
to get the salad bar. And all. That's when Pizza Hut was at its prime. And Generation Z, you will never know that joy. You will never know that joy. Oh my gosh. So we did talk about Monica. Okay, we talked about Monica. But she came out and said that she feels like she's R&B's forgotten star. And so when I think about like all the old school aunties and uncles and just thinking about all of that and thinking about the R&B divas from back then, who would you say is your favorite out of all of the throwback aunties out there?
How throwback are we going?
You can go as
Are
far
we
back
saying
as you
like
want.
Whitney?
Yeah, you can
R&B
say Whitney.
divas, or are we saying like, well, I guess, okay, who's my favorite R&B diva?
Because it's for me, I would say definitely Auntie Anita.
Oh, you went back.
And definitely Mariah Carey. Now, Auntie Anita, I'm learning some things about Auntie Anita lately, is that she has a terrible attitude, apparently.
Bad.
Like, apparently her attitude sucks.
Real stank.
Every other week, she's in Twitter
Cursing
drama
somebody, and cursing people out at her shows.
with Cheryl Lynn. Her and Cheryl Lynn been going at it neck to
Who is
neck
Cheryl
for
Lynn?
decades. So good. Good love deserves
Okay.
Yes. So they've been Twitter beefing.
Let me find out you got a little voice, Carmen.
Yeah, I try a little something. And so I say Anita would be my favorite throwback auntie.
I don't have a favorite
Singer.
I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my vibe.
Well, what did you listen to back in the day? Hip-hop?
Anita Baker? When did you listen to Anita Baker? This is like
Since
the
a
Queen
small
Law.
child.
This is like the Queen Law thing, Carmen.
Yeah,
I'm not believing
I grew
this.
up in a household. My dad was a DJ when in his younger days.
Okay.
So I listened to all kinds of music all the time. So
Okay.
Anita was on constant rotation. Tony Braxton. You know,
I definitely would not say Tony. I would say Mariah out of the people you named.
that's a good choice.
Mariah was a middle school staple.
Yes.
Of like dancing with the boys at the school dances.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It
so I
just
would say
brings
Mariah.
back good vibes.
It does.
And then you had the tape cassettes, which nobody knows anything about these days either. But just really think about it. Like putting a tape into a tape player. And sometimes the tape would get messed up
And
and
you
you would
had
have
to-
to take the pencil and you have to roll it back and put it back in there. I mean,
Flip it to the side B
the labor we had to do
just to hear a damn song.
in the 80s, in the 90s, the kids of the 2000s will never understand
iPad kids,
the trauma.
You will never know.
But it was joy.
No, iPod. That was the original.
iPod.
You remember iPod? It's coming back. Did you know that?
I did not
That's
know it was
crazy.
coming back, but it was like a little rectangle thing and it had one big button on it.
Speaking of one big button, society is starting to get fed up with technology, and they are now creating dumb phones. Have you seen
Okay.
this?
No.
So it's literally for people who only want to call and send text messages. It has no apps, no social media, no nothing. And I
See?
think that's a little extreme. Unless you're a murderer. I feel like if you are a murderer and this is your burner phone and you don't
Wow.
want to get caught,
A
that's why you
murderer?
would have that. Yeah, that's why they have those phones.
I
Because your
mean-
location wouldn't be tracked.
Shout out to Auntie Dolly Parton that I was telling you about earlier, the white auntie.
With the faxes.
And she even took it back to faxing. So I am in alignment with the
dumb phones?
The dumb phones and the faxing. I'm all about it. Thank you for that. So the next fond memory I have is Blockbuster.
Oh my gosh. Friday night.
Blockbuster, going to, like you said, on a Friday night, picking up a pizza, getting that movie, showing your Blockbuster card, having to get it back before the late fee.
And being privileged to go in and pick out the movie you're going to get.
Yeah, so you got to pick out the movie for the Friday night. And now it's all you got to do is turn on the TV and you can stream whatever you want.
Hopefully you're streaming Grown Woman TV. I will
Hopefully.
just say that. The fact that there are still red boxes. How? Yes. I literally, like last week I saw a red box. Not only am I wondering if are people like have DVDs players at home to play them?
I mean, my
Who's
mom has a DVD
maintaining
player,
them?
but I don't think she's playing anything on it. I think it's just there. And I'm the kind of person I feel like I want to keep those things. Maybe I'm a hoarder, but DVD players, tape players,
Girl.
like shouldn't you keep those?
I found Kendrick's box of Blu-ray discs.
Yeah.
And I was just
He
like,
should
bro,
keep 'em.
get this out of here.
I still have The Lion King on VHS, The Little Mermaid.
But you have a VCR though to play it, or you just
I don't have a VCR.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Koe.
it's okay. You could get one day probably.
Oh, my
Okay, I was
gosh.
just wondering. But yes, Blockbuster definitely a staple. The Gen Z girls are definitely gonna talk shit about us if they see this episode.
I don't care. So 90s fashion.
Ooh.
Let's talk about 90s fashion and
Ew.
how it's come back around full circle. So we had lip liner. The brown lip liner was a thing that we did during that time. And it's come back around. The
I think I have some on right now.
Yeah, the brown lip liner, the clear gloss, the chokers,
The white lipstick. The
What was that
powdered
about?
donut. I don't know.
Why?
The silver eyelash. The eyeliner.
right over top of your
Girl,
eye.
what were we doing?
And then the windbreakers.
Yeah.
We had windbreakers. And it was just insane.
Yeah.
For those of you who were not there, it was an insane
It was a time to be alive, baby.
with a-
Gaucho pants. Was that the 90s or was that the 2000s?
That was the early 2000s.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a little ahead of myself.
And the gaucho pants, you roll them up at the top, baby, and you couldn't nobody
Girl,
tell you
couldn't
nothing.
nobody tell you
and
nothing.
you had a permanent wedgie when you,
You
wore
did.
them.
That butt was looking fat, even if it wasn't.
walking.
Yep.
And they were just perpetual high waters, and it was just the stupidest thing.
That was pretty dumb.
All right, and so I would have skipped down.
Wait, I have one more. But was
Okay.
it the 90s or the 2000s when we were doing those dumbass belts?
The stupid belts,
that
that
the
was the
2000s?
2000s, but
Okay.
you could still put it there because it's a throwback fashion.
It
It was an
is.
iconic
It was a
statement.
stupid ass staple. And they
We
had me in
wore
a chokehold, baby.
everywhere.
Silver, gold, black. I had every color.
Oh my God. And it would go on everything.
Every shirt.
Your blazer,
Girl.
your shirt,
Girl.
your dress. I mean, baby, you could not go nowhere without that belt, honey. And if you didn't have the color that you needed, you were going to go get it because my
I
belt
need this.
personally had to match my shoes.
Oh,
So if
okay.
I had on a red pair of shoes, I had to have a red waist
Oh
belt.
man, we looked so stupid. And remember the jewelry, like the big, chunky, beaded jewelry? It's like I can just imagine the belt,
Costume
the
jewelry.
necklace, the costume jewelry, the pumps, the colorful pumps.
Because you had to go to Claire's and you had to pick out your 3 for 20 or your 3 for 15 or whatever. And it was just a time to be alive.
Do you remember rave?
I do remember Rave.
Do you remember Contempo Casuals?
I do not.
That gets them every time.
Now
Every time I say that, people are like, wait,
now
what?
that threw me for a-
579?
579
Girl,
was my girl.
That was, y'all are like, what?
Wet Seal.
Wet Seal. Wet Seal is more recent. Is Wet Seal out of business now at this
It
point?
has to be.
It's gone? Okay.
But all I know is
What a time.
you will never understand the joy.
You won't, because all you got is Fashion Nova and Amazon, baby.
Okay? Last but not least, I want to say about the magazines that we had. So we didn't have social media. The way that we got our information was we had to go pick up a Word Up. We had to go pick up a Vibe. We had to tear out those tear out those posters, put them on the wall if we wanted to see our favorite celebrities, right? And so I think just talking about finding those small joys, and I think that's why our nieces and nephews are so anxiety ridden and so depressed, because we had things like this to uplift our spirit. Like what
And
we
you
about
had to sit down somewhere to
you
read
had to
these
sit
things.
down. You had to read. You had to, okay, I want to find out
Look
what
things up.
I want to find out what Mary J. Blige got going on. Let me read and see what she's doing. And I think we need to bring it back.
Magazines?
Yeah. I think magazines need to make their way back, not only because people need to read more, but it allows for us to get off of the screens, get away from the phones, and just enjoy something of our own.
I was kind of sad that all the magazines have just like
Disappeared.
the Jet Beauty of the Week was like a
Yes.
staple.
Do you know how bad I wanted to be Jet Beauty of the
And
Week?
it's clearly it's over with. It's never gonna happen. But that was the thing. Like, yeah, that was really a thing. What do these kids have now? I
I
will
don't
never
know. So anyway, I just wanted to take a trip down memory lane.
I enjoyed our trip down memory
because
lane.
I feel like it's just much needed
It is.
to lift my spirits.
Gen Z, don't leave us no bad reviews for this episode.
No, they
this is
shouldn't.
for the fellow aunties.
Yes.
So I got some trivia for you.
Okay.
Play some game show music right here, Tybo. Okay. First question.
Okay.
Stop reading them, Carmen.
Sorry. Go.
And before she answers, y'all try to guess, okay? What was the 90s sitcom with a boy and Earth?
Boy Meets World.
That was too easy. I should have asked you another question.
I love that show. Hey,
I love that show.
Topanga.
Hey, Topanga.
She was like a feminist icon.
Speaking of Boy Meets World, the older brother and Chili
Are dating.
are dating.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, that's
that
a
is such an
thing.
interesting
I don't know what's up with Chili and these white
pair.
men. Okay, name 2 TV shows with annoying boys for neighbors.
Family Matters
Okay.
and Sister.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Who was Mr. 106 in Park?
Bow Wow.
Okay, that was too easy. All right, so real quick, I got some this or that. So I'm
Okay.
gonna name 2, you just pick one. Boys to Men or New Edition?
Oof. I'm gonna have to go with New Edition.
Baby Fat or Polo?
Baby Fat.
Missy or Mary J?
Oh my God. Now, wow, those are like 2 of my favorite people.
Saved it for last.
If I had to pick one, everybody knows I'm a Mary J stan, so I'm gonna go with Mary J. But I love Missy, and I feel like she's underrated.
Well, she gonna stay underrated with people like you.
I know, who's not
put
taking her side.
Talent
Oh,
lists.
wait a minute. Hold up. Who's talentless?
I'm not gonna finish my sentence.
Oh my gosh. You're canceled again.
I'm gonna get canceled again because y'all are serious about Mary.
What is
But
happening?
can you sit here and say,
Can I sit
in
here
a
and say what?
non-biased way, that Mary J.
My
Blige
heart is
is
beating
more
fast.
talented than Missy Elliott? That's all I'm asking. Can you say that Mary J. Blige is more talented than Missy Elliott is my question. That's all.
First of all,
Yes or no?
I don't like the tone of your
You
question.
don't like it?
And I don't like the implications that you're making. But I will say they do 2 different things.
Nope, that's not the answer.
They do 2 different things.
But it's an either or, and they're both entertainers.
One is the queen of hip hop and R&B.
Who has more talent?
soul.
Who has more talent? Just talent, not who can sing better. Who has more talent? Who's more talented?
I don't know, audience.
I don't know.
Audience, please weigh in on this topic.
Let us know down below. That's the question of the week. Are you rocking with Missy or Mary J? Who has more talent? I would love to know.
I can't believe this.
All right, that's our this or that. That was kind of fun.
Yay, I enjoyed that. So
You
we
ready
get
for
into a
Dear
Dear
Aunty?
Aunties? Yes. Are you
Go
going
for it.
first? Okay. Dear Auntie, I have been communicating with my ex from college. We dated about 5 years ago. I caught him with other girls a few times back then, and things ended badly. Now he's coming back around, acting like he's interested again, and honestly, I might be too. Do you think he could have changed in the last 5 years? Should I give him another chance? What y'all think, aunties? Liz. Oh my. Dated 5 years ago, caught him with other girls. I mean, I would really have to question whether or not he had actually changed. I mean, you said that you caught him cheating a couple of times and it ended badly back then. So I would like to know what makes you think that he has changed at this point. What behaviors has he exhibited to make you think that he is no longer a cheater? That's my question.
So you're not giving an answer. You're asking a question.
Correct.
Okay.
Because my thing is, I don't really have an answer for this because if it were me, I wouldn't go back. I'll say that.
Okay.
If it were me, I wouldn't go back. But I want to know why you are even considering going back.
Let me tell you why she's considering
given the
it.
circumstances.
Let me tell you why. Because for those 5 years post-college, especially if you go to an HBCU, which I don't know if she did, but the reality hits you that you just had a buffet of options. And now it has dried up. Now they are gone.
Yeah.
And so once that 5-year mark rolls around and you done got the baby shower invitations, you done been a bridesmaid several times, you're willing to settle a little bit. Literally, I used to have this theory of like the settling season. Those years after college, so many people.
Those years are tough.
They are tough because you want what you think everybody else has and they're usually not even happy with what they got because everybody's young as shit. It just usually doesn't work out. But anyway, that's probably why she's willing because it didn't dried up out here and she's like,
that.
I say, hell no. I don't believe in bending the block. Now, I know Nelly and Ashanti, they are a special case. But it doesn't usually work out like that. You don't usually have the happily ever after because there's usually some residual baggage, especially if it ended badly, which would have been my question of like, how did it end? Did y'all just go separate ways? If it ended badly, then I think it's a hell no.
She says it ended badly.
She said that. So hell no. And she said he cheated multiple times. So I am of the belief, I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater, but I do believe once you have cheated on me, you will cheat on me again. So I don't believe that if you cheat with one person, you're going to be a cheater for the rest of your life, but I believe you cheat on one person and she forgives you, you're going to do it again. So I would not advise you to go back.
I think I agree with that theory.
Stay away, Liz. Run far away.
Run.
Dear fellow aunties, I think I have totally lost my sex drive. It has really put a damper on my marriage. And to be honest, it's pretty embarrassing. I am really struggling to get in the mood, initiate sex, and even when we do have sex, it's almost like my body doesn't respond. Has this ever happened to you, and can you offer any advice? Auntie Nia. And then it says perimenopause.
All right, Auntie Nia. So,
has this ever happened to you is the first question.
This has. Actually, one of the biggest reasons I think women lose their sex drive is because of stress and life happenings and things going on all around them, right? And so first I want to say it's more common than I think people care to admit. I think, everybody wants to put on like, oh, me and my husband is hanging from the chandelier.
You a lie.
Okay. Well, we all got to go to work and, it's a lot of other shit going on. So, but I say all that to say it is embarrassing when it happens. But there are things that you can do. You can make sure that you are being more intentional when it comes to sex. You can set the mood, take a nice bath, get your wine, get all of that basically set the mood so that when it's time to have sex that you're really feeling it, right? If your body isn't responding, even after you do all of that, there might be something else that's going on physically. So you might want to go to your doctor, check that out, see if you are experiencing dryness or whatever, because there might be some underlying condition there that you might want to look into. But I really think that that's all the advice I have. And talk to your partner about it. Be open with them about it, because if your partner is not getting sex on a regular basis, or if your sex life has changed in any way, they're going to have comments, they're going to have questions, and they're going to have concerns. So I think talking to them is the best thing that you can do, even though it's embarrassing.
I agree. I can definitely see why it would be an embarrassing conversation. But I have actually interviewed a sex therapist, and I think it's something like, it's a super high percentage. I'm going to say 80+% of couples have experienced sexual incompatibility at some point, meaning our sex drives are not in alignment at some point over the course of our marriage.
Right.
That is an expectation that I think you should have. That at some point, you're going to want it when I don't, or I'm going to want it when you don't. It's just not going to be in alignment 100% of the time. And we already know that a man's sex drive is typically higher than a woman's sex drive. So to expect it to be the same, I don't think is even a realistic expectation.
Reasonable, yeah.
But if you want to be married for the rest of your life, happily married for the rest of your life, and you are married to a man, which, did she say that? A man, and he is going to want to have sex with you for the rest of your life, I think it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. Because the percentage of men that deal with erectile dysfunction is sky high as well. So the chances of him having an issue at some point over the course of your marriage are high. So I think that if you just establish that comfort with having those tough conversations, I think that'll help. And then also just find some supplements that might help. So I don't have a laundry list of them, but maca root is one that I have heard of. So
I just started taking maca, so I'll let you know the results.
Okay, keep us posted.
Yeah.
But I think that is common, and don't judge yourself. Like you said, stress, becoming a mother, like the change, like the physical changes that your body goes through, aside from the emotional and mental change. Getting a new job, taking on a new role, so many life changes happen that we can't predict, expect, prepare for, and all of that can take a toll over how your body operates. So definitely just have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay, last one. Dear Auntie. Oh, was it your turn? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Dear Auntie, I feel like I need to go to therapy. But you came here. Girl, I know that I have been holding on to some issues since I was little, and I'm ready to let it all go. But my mom keeps telling me that therapy is only for crazy people. How can I get the courage to do it anyway? Should I just not tell her? Marley.
Sounds like mom needs to go to therapy.
I was going to say.
If you feel like you need to go to therapy, you probably need to go to therapy. Like, people just don't out of the blue say, hey, I feel like I need to go to therapy. There's something deep down that you want to address, which is fine. It's obviously not just for crazy people. I personally believe everybody should go to therapy, whether they think something is happening or not, just because being alive is hard.
Something is always happening.
Something is always going on, whether it's relationships with your parents, with your friends, in your marriage, just being able to...
Finances, work, friendship. Something's always going on.
Grief. So just being able to talk to an unbiased party who can also give you advice that is been studied and tested, I think...
And unbiased?
I think that is just invaluable. So I highly encourage you to go to therapy. I think, like I said, everyone should do it. And you don't have to tell your mom you're going to therapy. That is not any of her business. I don't know how old you are, so you might need mom. If you're a minor, you might need her to go to therapy. But if you're 18, in your 20s, go to therapy. She doesn't have to know anything about it. At this point, you are grown. So,
and I'll just add that she probably doesn't want you to go to therapy because she is the reason your ass needs to go to therapy anyway. And she don't want you sitting up in there telling all of her business. Coming to these revelations and then getting out of therapy and then coming to her to address something. These mothers, you can't address things with them.
A wise person once said, many people go to therapy to address issues with people that won't go to therapy.
That part.
So your mom is living in ignorance is bliss. She just as happy as she could be because she's ignorant to all of the things that are going on. But when you go to therapy and get that enlightenment,
it's going to change your life, girl.
You're going to shake the table.
You are going to shake the table, and the table needs to be shook. I think too many of us are carrying around baggage that we have not even identified. We're just carrying it from not even relationships, just situation to situation, environment to environment. Just with ourselves, we're just carrying it, and so much of it can literally be let go. But a lot of the times, our beliefs, our mental capacity got us where we are, and it's not going to
absolutely.
get us to where we are trying to go. So having a third party, definitely helpful. The other thing that I recently learned is the difference between a therapist and a coach. And so you might need a therapist, but you might want to also consider a coach. So apparently, a therapist is going to focus on helping you work through issues of the past, like identifying issues in the past, pinpointing, things from your childhood. But a coach is going to help you figure out an action plan for the future.
Oh, okay.
So there's a difference.
A friend
so
of mine said she had a coach. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a thing. So
Okay.
my therapist is a coach as well. So
Okay.
it's like the best of both worlds because we can talk about the stuff from the past, but then she can help me figure out what to do with that for the future. I have personally been with therapists where it's like, okay, we just going round and round and round. And every time I come in here, it's just the same thing. My mama.
That
It
is
is still my mama.
so
It's the same thing.
frustrating.
It's frustrating. And so I believe that a bad therapist is worse than no therapist. Like,
So what do you look for in a therapist? Because I know for me, like, to your point, I like therapists that some therapists take the approach of they don't want to give you solutions.
They're just going to ask a million questions.
They're just going to ask the questions and let you, talk and vent.
That's annoying.
But I need my therapist. The reason I'm here is because I would like some feedback and I would like you to tell me kind of,
What should I do
not
now?
even, what should I do next? What's your opinion on what
so
I
you
should
might
do?
need a coach, Carmen.
Okay, so maybe I need to switch it over.
I think a life. I feel like the same connotation that therapy has, like you just crazy if you go to therapy. People feel like that about life coaches too. Like
Really?
something must be wrong with me if I have a life coach. There's like a
I think life coaches have a bad rep, just like kind of like relationship coaches.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, what makes you such an expert on relationships or what makes you such an expert
at life.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but I will tell you, my therapist dragged me my last session.
Did
And
she?
she did give me a revelation. So I went to her and I was like, hey, man, nobody helps me do anything. And, I feel overwhelmed that, I just always got to I feel like I got to do so much stuff on my own, right? And she says, well, what you've done and what you've been really good at over the years is training everyone in your life to do just that. You've been really good at doing everything on your own and making people feel like you don't need help. So that when they come to you asking you, do you need something? You probably give them this energy like, I'm good, I got it. And so basically she said, you don't ask for help. And because of that, people don't come to you asking you if you need help. So throughout your life, you've just built up this wall where it's like, Carmen's got it, Carmen's going to do it, and we don't need to ask Carmen, does she need anything?
Yep.
And so when I came to that conclusion, I said 2024
Help me, please.
is giving damsel in distress.
Girl, that.
It's giving damsel in distress.
I love that for you.
Yeah, so-
And me as well, because you don't get a prize
You
for being stressed the hell
don't.
out. You get an illness. That's
Hello.
the prize for stressing yourself out. So no, thank you. The Superwoman
I don't like it.
syndrome ends
Today.
today.
Okay.
If y'all have questions that you want answered based on nothing at all,
Nothing.
just our opinions, write us, dearauntipod@gmail.com. If you're interested in advertising your business, you can send us an email as well. If you got some fly clothes for us, we would love to wear them. And y'all, we're going to be doing more than just podcasting in 2024. So holla at your girls, okay? Thank you for tapping in. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Apple.
5 stars.
Subscribe on YouTube and make sure you download the Grown Woman TV app on Roku. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.